action, ready to go. Okay, so today we're going to be doing clavicle. So we'll be wrapping up upper extremities. So we'll be doing clavicle, we'll do the AP, and then we'll do the AP axial. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. The clavicle, there's only two projections. And even though the clavicle is in the anterior portion of the anatomy, we really do an AP. Normally, we try to get the area of interest closer to the board, but in most cases, when we do a clavicle, we do an AP and an AP axial. All right, so we'll go ahead and get started, and I'll make mention of the PA axial when it comes to taking your test, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna go ahead and cone down here, all right, just like this. I'm gonna open up my collimation about 12 to 14 inches going across, all right, and I'm gonna come up to the mid-clavicle region. So you can feel it, you can touch it. That's your collarbone right here. So here's the acromion, and here is the jugular notch, all right? When I learned it, it was manubrial notch and suprasternal notch, but now it's jugular notch, right? So I'm gonna raise this up here. Okay, watch your head here. And by the way, we have a receptor inside here already, all right? So then I'm just gonna bring this patient over, all right? And I'm gonna get him centered right here. There we go. So I'm gonna cone down just a little bit more. I don't need it that wide, all right, or that length here. So I need this here because I want to get his jugular notch and I want to get the top of the acromion here. So this is an AP, and again, the clavicle curves. There's a curve to that. So we're not going to get really good demonstration of the anatomy from the body. So that's why we're going to do an AP axial. So let me get my marker here. I got my marker right over here. And this is going to be your AP clavicle. Now with the clavicle, I normally do about 10 to 12.5 mass at about 76 kV, all right? So this gentleman's a little bit thinner, so I'd go about maybe 72 kV at about maybe 10 mass for this individual here. A person like my size, I do 12.5 at 80 kV, right? Good. So again, now we're gonna do AP axial. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop this down because the angulation for a clavicle is 15 to 30 degrees cephalic when you're doing an AP axial. So I'm dropping this down. Now, think about it. We're going 15 degrees, right? But because he's thinner, I'm gonna go up to 25 degrees, okay? So he's thinner. So when the patient is a stenic patient, the clavicle is gonna be more like this. But if a patient is thinner, what happens is you're gonna get a greater curvature of the clavicle, and you're gonna have to increase your angulation to get up underneath the body, right? So that's why you have a range between 15 to 30 degrees. So for this individual here, I'm gonna go to 25. So right now we're at 90, right? So I'm gonna angle here, all right? So 90 plus 25 is gonna be what? What's that gonna be? Should be about 15 here, right? So we can get that, right? So 90 plus 20 is 110, plus 5 is going to be 15. So we're using a 25 degree angulation on this gentleman here. And again, because he's really thin. So I'm going to go ahead. I want to make sure I'm not going to be compromising the light over his eyes. I don't want the light shining in his eyes, okay? So here we're back in the area that we need. And because we're at a 15, 25 degrees, let's go. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, it's 5 degrees reduction, right? So we're at 40, I'm gonna go to 35. Now, I'm not gonna lie, you guys, I don't always do this in the field. I know that you're supposed to, but if it gets too close to the patient, I'd rather not do the reduction, okay? So again, whenever you angle the tube, for every 5 degrees, reduce it by 1 inch, right? So that's the reason why I'm doing 35 inches. It's still gonna be a 40-inch distance, SID, if you were to measure from here to here. Let's see here. All right. So right there, you guys, that's 39. Plus by the time it reaches, it'll be about 40, okay? So I'm gonna raise this up here, watch your head. I need to go back up and get into the middle of the clavicle. All right. We're gonna put this up, watch your head here. Right there. So this is your AP axial. I'm going to put them back in the middle, right there. I want to make sure I get the jugular notch. Here's the end of the clavicle. Here's the jugular notch. Here's the acromion. I want it back in that middle of the anatomy. I can make this even smaller if I wanted to right there, so we don't have to overexpose him. So this is your AP axial. So On the test question, sometimes they say the patient can't be supine or they can't put their back against the board. So they ask you a question about the patient in a P8 axial. Well, if it's a P8 axial, just remember that if you flip the patient around, you got to flip the direction of your angle. So instead of it being cephalic, what's it going to be? It's going to become, what is it? Caudal, that's right. So you're going to be coming down the opposite direction, okay? So again, if you flip the patient, you got to flip the angle. In the lab, I tell my students, you got to flip a couple things, right? If you flip the patient, you flip the shield, you flip your marker, and you flip the direction of your x-ray tube, okay? So just keep that in mind, but that's going to be your clavicle. So I just want to show you the curvature here of the clavicle, if you can see that. All right, you can see that it's not flat and that it bows. So if a patient is, let's say, asthenic, you're going to have to increase your angulation to get up under the body because there's going to be a greater curvature to that clavicle, okay? So that's why there's such a big range for the clavicle. Again, it's 15 to 30 degrees. Again, if the patient is asthenic, the thinner they are, you're going to have to increase your angulation because the body of that curve here, that curve of the body, I should say, is going to be greater. So you want to get up underneath, okay? So I'm hoping that helps you. You guys have a great day, okay? Hello everyone, you guys. Thank you very much for watching the videos. I'm hoping that they're helping you out. Please make sure that you subscribe and that you hit the notification bell to be notified about new videos. Again, remember to be good to yourself and be good to others. Thank you.